Hey guys, it's Ashley, and today I am filming a Q&A. Recently, as of April 27th, I have hit my 1-year booktube anniversary, and I am so freaking excited. You guys have no idea. I am excited for what I have planned for this year. I am excited for the things I'm doing this year. I am just so excited, and I am so incredibly happy to have been on booktube for a year, to have met and talked to all of you guys, to have your continued support and love on all of my videos. Like, you guys have no idea what that means to me. So recently I asked everybody on Twitter and Instagram instead of YouTube this time for questions, and that is what I am here to do today. So without further ado, let us begin. What is your favorite book Cassandra Clare has made? My favorite is City of Lost Souls. 1, Sebastian. 2, They Travel Around the World. 3, I really just, it's amazing. Like, it's really good. What's the first book you got on your shelf? I want to say the first book that I ever put on my shelf was Percy Jackson and the Lightning Thief. That was the first book that I actually read when I was really younger. It was the first book that I got. I'd either say that one or City of Bones. One of those two, but I'm gonna lean more toward Percy Jackson. Have you ever wanted to write a book, and what would it be about? Also, I love your videos and all of the other compliments you left. Thank you so much. Yes, I have 100% wanted to write a book. It's literally like why I'm majoring in creative writing, is because I really want to write books and, you know, do things with writing in the future. I recently, as in like a couple weeks ago, just got back into writing. I'm re-amping an old story that I started when I was younger, and it's kind of like a urban high fantasy mixture kind of thing, you know? But I came to the conclusion that every time that I write a story, I always end up stopping in the middle of it because I think, you know, everybody has done this before. This story has been done 1,000 times before. And I realized while I'm writing this story is that I need to put that aside and just write this one for me. So regardless of whether there are many cliches in it, regardless of whether there are tropes that have been overdone, regardless of whether, you know, it's the chosen one storyline or it's like the hero's journey, you know, regardless of any of that stuff, I am not currently looking to get published as of this point in time. So if I can make it through this entire first draft for me, then that will be all the accomplishment that I need at this point. When did you really start to build your mini library? Well, I thank you for calling it the library. I very much appreciate that. I really actually started when I started booktube. So I want to say a week or so before I really decided to make a channel, I bought my first bookshelf. And so if you go back to my very first or second video, you'll know that I only have one of these shelves behind me. How many books on your shelf do you still have to read? A lot. Like a lot. If you could live in Henrietta with Gansey or in Red London with Kel and friends, which would you choose? Oh my god, that is so difficult. Okay, considering that I'm only one book into the Shades of Magic trilogy and I don't really know what else is going to happen or how brutal the world can get, I am going to say Henrietta with Gansey and the gang because I love them so much. Who is your favorite character in Harry Potter? Well, thank you for asking, Noelle. So I can give you my top 3 favorite characters that don't include the Golden Trio. So number 1 is Sirius Black, and if you've been on my channel for long enough, you know that I absolutely love Sirius Black. Number 2 is Dobby. I think that he's so adorable and he's just trying to help all the time, and even though he never does it the right way, I just appreciate his, you know, hard work. And number 3 is Professor McGonagall. Okay, Professor McGonagall is such an underrated character. She is so underrated and nobody talks about her, and I love her so much. She's so sarcastic and she's witty and she helps all the time. She's always the one behind the scenes doing all the work, and I just love her. Will you come to Brazil someday? I hope so. I really do. Brazil would be so awesome to visit. And can you say, okay, I'm probably gonna butcher this, so just bear with me. O amo livros? It means I love books in Portuguese, and I do love books. What's the most recent book you've read? The most recent book that I finished was Queen of Shadows. And A+, 5 stars. Yes. Aw, Peyton, happy 1-year anniversary, gorgeous. Oh, thank you, Peyton. I love you too. Favorite book merchandise that you have? My most recent favorite book merchandise that I got are these 2 prints that I got from Society 6 recently. They're from A Court of Mist and Fury, and they're both designed by Charlie Bowater, and holy shit, if you guys have not seen her work or gone on her social medias, please do, because she is absolutely amazing and makes the best fan art I have ever seen. Look at Reese and Feyre. Look at the inner circle. It's just so pretty, and like I want to cry every time I see these. Like, Oh my god. She also asks, and favorite book you have read this year so far? I've been keeping a list of like my favorite books that I've read this year, just so that at the end of the year I can make a favorite books video. I'll give you a contemporary and a fantasy. For contemporary, I'm gonna pick The Sun Is Also a Star by Nicola Yoon, and for a fantasy, I'm going to pick A Court of Mist and Fury, both of which didn't even come out in 2017, might I add. So I'm pretty late to the game. Congrats on 1 year. Thank you so much. What are you studying in college? Like I said earlier, I'm studying creative writing. I originally started as English literature, but once I realized that that was a lot more reading and analyzing versus actually doing the writing, I decided to switch over because I realized I really like writing and the craft of writing a lot more than I do analyzing and, you know, researching literature. Happy 1 year. Thank you. What's your favorite standalone book? Like I said before, probably The Sun Is Also a Star. So good. Oh my god. But I also recently read Simon vs. the Homo Sapiens Agenda, and that one is really good, although she's making a spin-off series based on Leah, so I'm not 100% sure if that's considered standalone now, but that story, Simon's story, I'm pretty sure is standalone. If you could choose any character from a book to be your BFF in real life, who would it be? If you haven't gotten to Queen of Shadows yet in Throne of Glass series, this really isn't much of a spoiler, but Lysandra does come back. I'm not gonna tell you, you know, what she does or anything, but I just really loved her in Queen of Shadows. I thought that she was a badass and she was really awesome, and so I'm gonna pick her. What are some contemporary books you want to read or buy soon? Definitely The Upside of Unrequited I want to read. I just got that in my owl crate, so I'm very, very excited to start that. I also really want to read Everything Everything, which I have already, because the movie is coming out soon, and probably Fangirl, because that has been on my shelf for 2 years now and I still have not read it, so definitely getting to that soon. I'm gonna switch over to Twitter now. In what book to movie TV show adaptation were you completely disappointed? It's the Percy Jackson movies. Now the first one wasn't horrible. I wasn't completely disappointed at the first one. I think maybe because I was younger and I enjoyed the movie, but the second one, like, why? Why? That's all I'm gonna say. Top 5 favorite TV shows, if I haven't asked this already. I don't know if you have, but I'm gonna try anyways. Sense8 is probably number 1 because I love that TV show on Netflix so freaking much. Number 2, probably Daredevil on Netflix. 3, as of this point in time, Grey's Anatomy, because literally I look forward to that show every single week. 4 is probably The Walking Dead. My mom got me addicted to The Walking Dead after I stopped watching after season 3, and so I've started back up, and I'm really, really enjoying this season, even though it already ended. And number 5... I'm gonna say Weeds / Parks and Rec, because they're both comedies and they're both 30-minute episodes and they're both freaking hilarious. If you could pick anywhere in the world, where would you choose as your ultimate relaxation reading spot? Recently, I saw that Sarah J. Maas on Instagram, she went to Greece. Oh my god, those pictures, that is where I want as my relaxation reading spot. Favorite book you've read because of Booktube. So many of the books that I've read are because of Booktube. Honestly, I would not have gone into the bookstore and picked up any of the ones that I've read if I had not had somebody's recommendation for it. But I am going to have to say the Illuminae series by J. Kristoff and Amy Kaufman. I would never have picked that up had I not seen how pretty the book was on Booktube. I think it was Christine's channel, actually. So definitely those, because those are honestly like top 5 favorite series. I love them so much. What was your biggest fear when first starting your channel? My biggest fear was probably getting people, you know, hating on me, you know, listening to those, you know, hate comments and people saying, you know, why are you here? You suck. That kind of thing. I am very, very grateful that I don't get that hate that I had imagined that I would, but that was definitely my biggest fear going into this. Funniest blooper / outtake you've come across while editing. I really don't have many bloopers. I get more mad at myself for messing up a sentence than I do, you know, laughing at myself or do it in a funny way. What kind of music do you like? I go through phases. So occasionally I'll be in a Disney phase and I'll listen to literally nothing but Disney music. Then I really love Hamilton, so I'll go into a phase and listen to literally nothing but the Hamilton soundtrack on repeat. But like, main music is probably alternative. So if I were to go through my Spotify right now and tell you guys some artists, Fall Out Boy has always and forever will be my absolute love. I got into Fall Out Boy in 2013, which is a little late to the game, I might say. Literally, I love their music. I've been to like 4 concerts. But other than them, probably Mr. Wives is a new favorite. Glass Animals, Panic at the Disco, Young the Giant, Saint Motel, Cold War Kids, Cage the Elephant, the Lumineers, bands like that. And the last question I'm going to answer is from Bibliophile Nikki, and she says, who is the #1 author you would like to meet someday? I'm really hoping at BookCon that I'll be able to meet V.E. Schwab. That's like, I really want to meet her. I also possibly want to meet Sarah J. Maas because I've never, you know, gone to one of her signings or met her before. I'd love to meet Cassandra Clare, although I don't know what I would say to her, and I'm not really sure if, you know, I'd ever be able to get a ticket to that signing booth. I'd love to meet Rick Riordan, honestly, but I don't think he does BookCon. And so those are all of the questions I'm answering today. Thank you guys so much for sending in the questions. I'll definitely make sure I do another one of these in the future because my last Q&A I did when I hit 3,000 subscribers, and I have many more of you now. And again, thank you guys so much for 1 year on BookTube. I'm so happy to be here and so happy to continue, and I do have different things planned in the future, not just, you know, the same videos every month. So I'm very excited to finally start getting into some of the skits that I have planned and some of the cool, you know, costume designing things I might have planned. Hint hint. Thank you guys so much for sticking with me and for watching this video, and I'll catch you later. Bye!